start coming up the hill, because after this group setting when Coach Prime breaks up, a lot of times you have an individual meeting with your position coach, who's only takes a couple minutes. Then in mass, the team starts coming up. So we should get those two receivers and Coach Phillips soon.
All right.
Next 10 minutes, I would say.
Speaking of getting a new receiver or getting the receivers, we have somebody getting a new receiver, and that's the Cleveland Browns and Shedeur Sanders and their quarterbacks. They're getting a guy who Deuce might be familiar with also, and that's Isaiah Bond. He's signed with the ball club. Big time wide receiver right there, was projected mid-round draft pick. Of course, he had those legal issues, left him undrafted. I think he ran a 4.39 at the combine, so he has that blazing speed. Exactly what they need, I think, in Cleveland with route running like Jerry Jeudy, a couple of big receivers. You need somebody to take the top off the defense to go along with those tight ends also underneath with Joku and Harold Fanning Jr. Besides that, what can Isaiah Bond bring to the Browns, and how do you think he'll have an impact on this team this season?
Man, I would say resiliency. I think the ability to stand strong in that under adversity. I think because he's a speed merchant, and so besides speed, like the question said, I just think the his ability to stay strong while pretty much the nation had pretty much cast him away and said, this kid is done. I remember plenty of conversations in the Atlanta area where people were just like, how can you be so stupid? How can you be so dumb? Why did he do that? And all of these things, and nobody ever gave him a shot to be exonerated, which he was. So I think in this particular case, his ability to stay steadfast during that situation and to come out on the flip side of it with a guaranteed contract, I think just by being able to stand in the face of adversity. Two, also, I think he'll have a sense of maturity that'll go beyond his years so that he could talk to the rookies. He could talk to the fellow people in his class or first or second year players and say, hey, look, these are situations that really happen. It's not just a PSA that people give you at a symposium. This is a real world and it happened to me. So I think the gift of experience is something that he can provide to this Cleveland Browns team.
Nice.
Yeah, and I love, man, it feels crazy saying this. I love how the Browns, didn't treat him like an undrafted free agent and paid him. $3 million guaranteed. Probably could have spent $100,000 and got him. You know what I mean? But spent $3 million, which is right there around his talent level. And it's one of those things where you want to applaud somebody getting a second chance, but it's really not a second chance, first chance, because he didn't do nothing wrong. So, good for him. And I saw the Browns also, which like me reporting that the sky is blue or Colorado is a higher elevation, that Flacco's officially named QB1. We knew that was going to come. But they still, in my mind, are leaving a lot of meat on the bone is how they're managing the rest of that quarterback room at this point. So it's like on one hand, here they do something that's like, oh, man, the Browns understand. Then you look over here like, oh, man, what the hell the Browns doing?
Yeah. Well, I hope he, like Duke said, everything comes out and plays the best way possible. He keeps the head on straight, be able to mentor some other young guys out there. And main thing is go out there and ball out the way that we know that he can and become another weapon for our guy whenever it is he gets into the ball game, he has him at his disposal, on the outside. Isaiah Bond, shots out to him and the Browns. Yeah, Shadour's still listed number 4 on the depth chart, though. We'll get into later on, but go ahead.
Oh, I was going to get into it now.
Oh, let's get into it now then. What we waiting on? What we waiting for?
Because what gets me about the situation is, and let me mirror it to here in Colorado, and let's just talk about organizational management, top grading, like Deuce likes to talk about, and opportunity. You got, Caton Salt, the tip of the spear right now, going in this QB1. You got Juju right behind him. But one thing that you can't say Ryan Staub wasn't given a chance. Ryan Staub has had every opportunity in this QB room to be 2 or 1. Can you really say that about Shedeur in Cleveland? Like, yeah, he played in a game where they had injuries working against them. But even when you count the game or practices, they've never really put him with the ones or against the ones. Like, he's never been in a situation where, hey, man, we really are truly evaluating you to see if you could be number two. He's constantly been in situations, hey, just do what the most is for, and we'll see what happens. Hint, hint, you're going to stay at 4. Where in most places and spaces, even if 4 gets less reps, rightly so, he still is afforded that opportunity to let me truly evaluate you and see who's the best in this room. That hasn't happened in Cleveland, in my mind.
Duncan Sean Peterson. Shout out to Goonsville Clothing. Shout out to Atlantic. Shout out to College Park, Jackson, Mississippi, and the 27 SEL, Selma, Alabama. Big Dog Chico, Uncle Neely, Dukes the Scoop. Y'all hit the like, subscribe, coming all the other good stuff. Peace in the Middle East. Yeah, y'all. You bitch naive. You. Ooh.